What's up guys, today we're going to be taking a look at something on RuneScape Mobile on how you can actually make a lot of money through the app itself, even if you are someone who doesn't necessarily only play on RuneScape Mobile. So this can be useful for people who play on PC, as a lot of the stuff will still apply for money making stuff. So if you're here as a PC player looking to find like money making ideas and stuff like that, this video will still be relevant to you. It is just going to be directed towards the mobile player base. It's also going to be directed to the people who are playing on PC but don't necessarily use the mobile app but do have access to it. So you can do this in your downtime when you're not actually on the computer. You can use your phone and make a bit of money, extra cash on the side that you wouldn't normally be making. Anyway, I hope this does help you guys out. If it does, then make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's get into this. Alright, so these methods are going to be in no particular order. They're going to be probably spread out between stuff for high level players and stuff for low level players as well. So there should be something in here that everybody can do to help get a little bit of extra money on RuneScape Mobile. This first one, however, could probably be done by most people, and that is going to be AFKing the Arch-Glacor on one mechanic. So as you may know, in normal mode you can AFK the Arch-Glacor if you have unticked all the mechanics except for one. The reason to leave one mechanic active is because it increases the chance of getting extra drops, and also it is just the flurry mechanic, so it really doesn't do anything to you, as you're just going to be soul splitting or using a vampiric aura this whole time anyway. AFKing the Arch-Glacor is actually pretty damn good money. It can have a chance of getting the Book of Wcing as well, as in normal mode you can get access to the rare drop table, meaning the Book of Wcing is absolutely perfectly available here, the Nihilus is available, and you can also get the Leng artifacts as well. While the rest of these aren't overly expensive, if you are someone who can do hard mode, you can still get yourself some Nihilus, which will be pretty useful. And of course, having access to the chance of getting the Book of Wcing just from AFKing here, literally doing nothing but moving your camera every 5 minutes so you don't log out from combat, is a pretty damn good chance of getting a good amount of money. I've seen someone do about 300-400 AFK kills here, and they ended up having 2 Books of Wcing, which may not sound like a whole lot, but when you consider the fact that this was all done AFK in normal mode, that's actually quite a lot of money just for AFKing and doing nothing else without even including any of the other drops. The Scripture of Wcing alone is around about 140 million GP, so getting 2 of those in like 400 kill cam AFK, that's 280 mil that you've got just from AFKing. That is insane. Not to mention all the other stuff, including the charms and whatnot, and the requirements to do this really aren't that high. As long as you've got some basic gear, you have access to Soul Split or a Vampirism Aura, you shouldn't have much problem doing this here, as there's no other mechanics, and in normal mode, he's really not going to hit you that hard. So set yourself up here on mobile when you're not doing anything on PC, and see how much you can make per hour, and then see if you get really lucky just like this person did, and end up with a lot of money. Next up, another thing that is incredibly good to do on RuneScape Mobile is going to be your farming runs. Now you may be thinking, farming runs, really? Honestly, if you are sat on your couch not really doing much, then you may as well just hop on your phone, do a farming run, and just do herbs. You don't have to do any trees or anything like that. Just do your herb runs. That's a lot of money, and it doesn't take you that long to do. This is great because you can keep on top of this when the timers go through when you're not actually on your PC or anything. But if you literally just go on your phone, quickly do your farm run, then plant everything and run it all again, when you go back on your PC, you're going to end up with a decent amount of profit. For the little effort and the little time that it takes to do this, if you are wanting to make more money, this is definitely a viable option, and you could do this at pretty much any levels. Like, it's not something that you have to be a high level to do. You can plant herbs and still make profit at a lower farming level as well. You won't make as much profit, of course, but you are going to start making profit doing farm runs really quickly, because herbs are in high demand. They are really expensive on some of them, and if you are leveling up your farming anyway, and if you aren't a high level getting the most money straight away, then you're only going to be giving yourself experience and gold as well to actually level your account up and progress to the future, which means once you get a higher level, you're going to be even turning in more money and more money. This doesn't take long to do on your phone. You can set up a preset, you can set up the action bar that you need to all the teleports and whatnot, get through it nice and quick, and honestly, this is definitely a good thing to do. I really should set this up myself, because it genuinely is a nice easy way to get a little bit of extra cash, and like I say, you can do it while you're sat on the couch, whether you're on the bus or something, going to work or anything, on your break at work, all that sort of good stuff. How good would it be to just quickly do this while you're at work and then come home and have extra money done? Like, I don't know, it just seems pretty cool. This next one is for the high levels in the game, kind of, and you're going to need a little bit of decent gear. Probably something like Crypt Bloom, or at least Wcing as armor, and you're going to want to have Animate Dead as well. This is going to be AFKing God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses, as these can be incredibly good money. I recently made a guide on AFKing Vindicta, and it is actually pretty damn good money. I did this quite a bit afterwards and made a lot of money on getting the Dragon Rider Lance drops. Also, the crests are really good as well, so you can get a pretty damn big amount from just AFKing at Vindicta. Not to mention the other drops is around about 6 mil an hour, I believe, between 4 and 6, and then also once you do get those big drops, it ends up going up a hell of a lot. If you get lucky, you can be making hundreds of million GP here while you are just AFKing for hours on end, and it is really low effort. You don't need to do anything except renew your overload and drink your prayer potions, that sort of stuff. And if you even use penance powder, you don't even need to do that. I'll link the guide that I made for AFK Vindicta in the description, so you will be able to go and follow that. Like I say, this is going to need high level gear. Crypt Bloom makes it so much easier, and of course, if you do have like sea singers and stuff, you can do it, but you're going to have to pay probably a little bit more attention and maybe use a little bit of food here and there, and then enhance Excalibur possibly. If you do have Crypt Bloom, you will be able to AFK Helwer as well, and he is much more consistent money on the normal drops, so you can end up getting a little bit more than doing Vindicta, but at the same time, you aren't getting anything anywhere near the expensive drops, as the drops at Helwer are around about 20 mil each, and the ones at Vindicta are around about 45 to 50 million GP. So you can trade it off. They do end up being pretty similar in gold unless you get lucky at Vindicta, but if you get unlucky, then Helwer would have been the better choice. So you just kind of have to weigh it up, maybe even jump between them, but these are great bosses to be able to AFK if you have the money to do it, and then you can make even more money nice and easily. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be just general skilling and leveling up of your account. So if you are someone who isn't like maxed or anything like that, and you are wanting to progress your account, you don't have to always do that on PC if that's where you normally do it. Anything that is AFK, like woodcutting or fishing, or usually stuff that gets raw materials, such as mining and the ones mentioned before, you can end up getting a decent amount of money from doing this, as it does make it nice and easy on mobile, because you can just chill out, mine away, chuck it in your raw box, chuck it in a deposit box or anything like that, and then it's just nice and easy to tap the screen and get back to it. But this is a great way to get some bonus experience. While you may not be making the most profit per hour doing this, you're still going to be making some profit, and it is stuff you wouldn't have got done otherwise. So take advantage of the mobile app for things like this, because it is going to be very beneficial on saving you time when you are back playing the game properly. And also, when you do log back in and find those resources there to be able to be sold, and maybe even used for other skills, if you do mining, you can take them off to do the smithing and stuff. It's actually really useful, because you're going to end up saving yourself a lot of time in the long run, which you could then use to make more money in different ways. Not to mention, of course, if you are a low level, then this is going to be incredibly good, because the higher your levels are, the more money you're going to make. So when you are a low level, this is probably going to be the better option, because you don't want to focus too much on just making money when you don't have the stats yet, as it's going to be a lot slower earlier on. You may as well level up and then make money quicker, and it'll balance out and probably end up being a hell of a lot better than if you did 10 hours at a low level rather than doing 5 hours of leveling and 5 hours at a high level. Next up is a pretty obvious one, and it's going to be doing flipping or merchanting from the mobile Grand Exchange. Doing this from the mobile client is super convenient, as soon as you've done it, you can just close the app and then come back to it later on. It's convenient to be able to check the Grand Exchange no matter where you are, meaning you can still do flipping and still do merching when you aren't even actually at a PC or online. Back in the day, if you wanted to do flipping, you would have to basically sit at the Grand Exchange, or do it between things like other tasks in the game. If you're going to be leveling up some skilling or anything, you would come back to the Grand Exchange every now and again and update your offers. However, now you can pretty much just go out of the house, go and do whatever you're doing, whether you're on your break at work or whatever. You can quickly whip out your phone, check your Grand Exchange offers, update them, make any profit you can while flipping. And while this isn't really for me, as I don't really enjoy doing flipping or merching in any way whatsoever, it just doesn't really interest me in the slightest, this is definitely still something you could do to make a lot of money. If you know how to do flipping in this game, you can make absolute bank. If you know when to buy items and when to sell them, when there's an update coming or something like that, the amount of money you can turn is crazy. But with a bit of practice and a little bit of experience, you will definitely be able to make a hell of a lot of money doing this. And of course, like I say, it's literally open the app, go to the Grand Exchange, or I assume that's where you've logged out, and then open it up, put in your offer, update your offer, claim your cash, log back out, and just wait for the next couple of hours until the next offer is updated. So it's nice and easy, and like I say, if you do get the experience in this, you could be making absolute bank. With the release of the Big Book, you can end up getting yourself a nice amount of clue scrolls just from AFKing and skilling. Doing clue scrolls is one of the better methods of making money in this game alongside PVM. In fact, I'm pretty sure it can possibly even be more than PVM, at least most bosses in this game. Like I say, with the release of the big book, getting clue scrolls hasn't really been easier than it is now. You can just AFK any sort of skilling whatsoever and get yourself these clue scrolls gathered up, and you can collect them up nice and easy, and there is no longer a soft cap to them as well. So you can gather thousands of these things and you can go ahead and open them when you're back on PC. So while you won't be making loads of money initially from the mobile client, you can take advantage of this to AFK on your phone and gather all the clues this way, and then when you are back on the PC, you can use that to run the clue scrolls and get the money a lot quicker. It saves you the steps of gathering them, and it makes it a little bit more convenient. You can literally sit and watch TV and then do it while you're sat on the comfort of your own couch, or you can do it from work, which is nice and easy. If you're working somewhere that you can literally just leave your phone on the desk, you can just tap that away, and there you go, you're good to go. And then of course, when you get back, all you have to do is run those clue scrolls, open them up for all the money, and of course that means 100% if you like this video, you're going to get thousands of dies, right? That's pretty much how that works. But doing this to save out some time when you would normally be doing it anyway on PC is definitely a good option. So get this done if you're someone who does clue scrolls, and take advantage of it, because like I say, having access to mobile client when you're just chilling doing something else, you may as well chuck it on if that's what you want to do. Finally, another thing you can do to make a good amount of money, and probably for high level players, let's be honest, is the player-owned Slayer dungeon. You can AFK in here and make really good money depending on what souls you have in the dungeon, especially the new things that have been released into the game, the Abyssal Lords or whatever the hell those are called. If you have the souls for those, which will take some time to get, you can chuck them in your Slayer dungeon and you can AFK and make a good amount of money. These aren't the only things you could do in here. You could do things like the spiritual warriors or spiritual mages, whichever one of those ends up being more money, and there's probably some other stuff that you can chuck in here too. You will just have to do a little bit of research on the best monsters to do, as that is not what I'm aiming to do in this video. I'm more just saying the sort of things you can do from mobile nice and easy to make a bit of extra cash. I don't have my own personal Slayer dungeon, so I would have had someone else make this clip for me, so thank you very much for doing that clip, and if it doesn't look like it is me, that is why, for anybody wondering. Anyway, that's going to be our last method from this video. Hopefully the ideas in this video have given you guys something to think about and something you can work on and make a little bit of extra money. If you were wondering, like, I've got the time to use AFKing on mobile, but I just don't know what to do, and I don't really know what's going to be worth doing. So hopefully this does give you some stuff to add to your list, and it will make you a bit of extra money. If it does, then make sure to let me know in the comments which ones you're going to be doing. If you are happy to share anything that you do on mobile to make extra money, then let us know in the comments too. That way other people can sort of get in on that too. But of course, be in mind that you may absolutely ruin your methods if you do that. It's just nice and interesting to hear from them. Before we end the video, thank you to the channel members for supporting the channel that bit extra each and every month. That is very, very appreciated, and it helps out more than you know. If anyone else is interested in joining the channel members, you do actually get early access to videos when I make them. As soon as I finish making them, I post them in the Discord, and of course the channel members have their own specific role. So if you are interested in joining up, then do click the join button that's beside the subscribe button. There are a few different tiers in there that will give you different perks and rewards, all of which are included in the early access to videos. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. I very much do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later guys. Bye.